Aesthetics, minimalism, what do they have in common? What about minimalism as an art form versus minimalism as a lifestyle? That's what I want to talk about today. Let's first look at some designs of just homes that you see. When you're looking in catalogs or if you look online at houses, you see that there is some sort of beauty. You might see something like this picture here. You see some boards that makes it have a cabin feel, some subway tile. Maybe you have wood, you have counters, plants. This here is a type of aesthetic. Or maybe you have some artwork that you really like to incorporate in your design. Maybe you want to add some colors, but still you want to have the richness of wood. Or maybe you just love windows, the light that comes in. Design is everything when you think about a home. You want it to shine your personality, but you don't want it to be cluttered. You never see homes and magazines where there's stuff constantly like scattered everywhere. When you go in someone's home, you want it to have none of that. You want to feel the warmth and coziness. For me, I love all of these designs. There are different forms. I like a clean, crisp look. I like white. I like to have color, and I like wood. Or even, this is more how I'm going to try to tie this in with minimalism as in its original form for architecture and art. And this is why we have so many things put side by side into why the lifestyle is very much not to be confused with the artistic design. So once upon a time when I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist. It is not something I would have been able to do, honestly, but I love learning about art and I love trying to see art in different forms. Minimalism is a type of art. I have done minimalist art. My favorite thing that I didn't get rid of, I got rid of a lot of my art, but one of my favorite ones I have in my son's bedroom, and one day it will be in my bedroom. I just love the idea of the art form of minimalism. So it's the idea of a simple design. There's limited abstract shapes, but usually they're organized looking, and it's definitely clutter-free. Basically, it's an art form where the space is not all filled up. I want to share with you some examples of minimalist artists. People like Anne Truitt. These are some of the pioneers, guys. Someone like Agnes Martin and Donald Judd. When you take this into minimalism, the lifestyle, it means that you have room to clear the clutter and it has a clean, simple look. There is a misconception that minimalists are anti-color. I have greenery here from plants. A lot of minimalists like plants, but I also like color. If you go into my home, you will find colors scattered around because I just love it. I make quilts, which are so colorful. I believe that minimalism, using color, helps you enjoy this space more. The idea of nature in homes, but leaving some space too. My entire wall is not covered with this plant. Maybe one day it could be, but I don't think I'm going to let it get to that because it would be too much clutter. It would be too much. But also the color green, I have curtains where my curtains are green in this room to match the plants. I have a quilt that I made that sometimes I put on my bed that has green in it. And I wear colorful outfits. Today I'm wearing gray. If you have seen me post different videos, you'll see color. But most minimalists, they push these drab colors of gray, whites, blacks, and beiges. And that's like sometimes all they wear. And that's not me at all. And it's absolutely great if they like that. It's how they're expressing themselves. And it's simple. They're like, you know what? I don't have to do much. My husband, he wears the same outfit every day. It's his uniform. He doesn't need much. But if you like grays and blacks, that's great. I like grays and blacks, but I also like blues, greens, pinks, reds, browns, yellows. Let's take art into our belongings. Let's make it aesthetically pleasing. We had this drab, boring corner opposite where I'm looking right now. It had nothing. But my husband, he wanted to put plants in this room. We got a shelf for his plants, but he also has a few books. Now, I don't have a lot of books. He doesn't have a lot of books, but his favorite books that he will reread, and some of them he has reread, he wanted to put them on the shelf too, but just enough where it looks aesthetically pleasing to our eyes. Right now I have a corner in my living room dedicated to being a nursery, and that's for my youngest right now. We actually only have a 2-bedroom apartment in a 2-family house, but I have 3 children and I don't want to put the baby with the teenagers. That corner, I love how it looks in our living room right now, and it's serving its purpose and it's aesthetically pleasing, it's colorful, but it's not cluttered. And when we don't have a lot of toys in there. But once upon a time, it used to be one of my very favorite areas. I used to have a bike rack in there. So if I wanted to ride my bike, I would have to lift it off because we don't have a place to put our bike downstairs or outside. But I liked how it looked in my home, and we had my husband's bike too. This computer desk where I'm at right now, it used to be in our living room. This is not pleasing to my eye to have in a bedroom right now. It is serving its purpose and it's functional for what we need. And it doesn't look bad in here. I mean, my bathroom, I used to have a plain white wall and I decided to put a few pieces of art there that I liked. But there's not a lot in my bathroom. My dining room area, there's not a lot in there at all. There's just a table and you have a curtain, and sometimes I put flowers down. So my whole point about this whole idea of minimalism, not just for the lifestyle I have, but also for the aesthetic and the art form, I want to combine them so that way when I come into my home, I feel peace. I feel like, wow, this is beautiful. I don't want to go into my home and go, oh, I hate everything about this, or there's too much stuff everywhere. So if you come into your home with a mass amount of objects, it's going to honestly stress you out and give you anxiety. It is proven to be able to do that. Science has proven that when you have clutter, especially for women, the way their hormones, the way their bodies function, it stresses out even more if you have clutter. So how can you recreate your home to be aesthetically pleasing to you? So that way it looks like art. I want my home to look more like art. When we looked at these designs, I saw art. I saw that the layout had such beauty. So it's like double minimalism. We have the art and we have the lifestyle. We combine them. Create decor that makes you happy, but doesn't have a lot to it. I'm going to give you an example. If you have a favorite teacup and you have it hidden away or even stored in a box somewhere, but you love that teacup, why is it hiding away? If you love it so much, bring it out once in a while. Use it. That's what minimalism does. It's not about just having nothing. It's about using what you do have and you love. If you have a small collection of maybe those Russian stacking dolls, maybe you love this thing that you have stored away. Bring it out, put it on display, put it on a shelf. Don't have where you have so many of them. Just choose your favorites. If you are just collecting just to have a whole bunch of clutter left, it's not artistic anymore. It looks to be too much. Narrow it down to your favorites that you could put on display. So like I said, my husband's favorite books. If we had all of his favorite books, it would be overwhelming. But if we have just a little stack of his favorites, great. It's pleasing to him and he feels happy when he sees it instead of like, oh, there's so many choices now. Even when you have storage, you want that storage area to not be overwhelming. And for me personally, I don't want anything stored. Right now, I have baby clothes stored for in case I have one more child. By the time I decide I am not having another child, a fourth child, I am going to get rid of those clothes. I don't believe in storing things that are for like 5 years down the line that you're like, well, maybe I'll use it. If you have not used it and you don't look at it on a regular basis, there's no reason to keep it. It's not aesthetically pleasing to your home. It is not giving you purpose. Make what you have show an artistic purpose. For some people, the idea of a completely empty room is beautiful. For me, I would love to have a bedroom where it's just the bed, but I don't want to have where there's so many things. I don't like dressers. I like to have drawers under my bed instead of an actual dresser. Or if I have a dresser, I want it in the closet. I don't like things on display and where it fills up the space. This is something that you are going to have to figure out. What are things that I really know I love? Something that's important to me. And then narrow it down to your favorites. Even my old family photos, I don't keep all of them. I've narrowed them down to some of my favorites. So that gives you an idea. Now that you know what is aesthetically pleasing to you, after you make your list, if you write it down. Say, I know I love these things. Go find those things and make a spot for them that's special. So when people come over, they see and they go, wow, that looks beautiful there. And you go, oh yeah, actually my great aunt left me that when she died. And I just love it so much that I wanted to put it on display. Now, if you don't love what your great aunt gave you, don't keep it. Don't keep it in a box and say, well, my great aunt gave it, I can't get rid of it. It's in a box. You've already gotten rid of it in your mind. It's gone. That is what I wanted to seriously bring to you today, is to see the beauty and make art in your home. I'm not asking you to right out become a minimalist. That is up to you to decide. But if you just start small like that, that is going to be really helpful to you. I was totally one of those people that's like, I need to spend the entire day going through all my stuff and bagging them up and donating them right away. I get these bursts of goal-oriented ideas where it's like, this is what I need to do, and then I go and do it because nothing can stop me. And that's not everyone. Some people have a really hard time with that. I want to encourage you to try to do just 15 minutes a day to try to make a corner of your home, just a corner of your home, make it aesthetically pleasing to you. And I know people that are not minimalists that do that, and they're like, I love how this looks. Don't have it overflowing with stuff. If you are drawn to minimalism, find ways where you can make your home a little bit minimalist. Just start just a tiny bit. And maybe it will be like, wow, I really like how this looks. Let me do it in another area. And then maybe eventually you'll be like, wow, I really love this too. I'm just gonna go full blown minimalist. So thank you today for being a part of this and for seeing some sides of minimalism that maybe you haven't thought about in a while, or maybe you didn't think about it at all. Let me know what is something that is aesthetically pleasing to you. Maybe tell me about a corner of your house that you love, that you look at all the time and go, wow, this brings me so much peace and joy, and I just love it.